podcast listeners. We are back with another episode of Life on Lowder. Today, we have two very, very special guests.
I'm Dede Long, and I am the mother of a freshman here.
I'm Kathy Keil, and I am the mom of a freshman.
So we'll begin. Talk to me a little bit about how you wound up at Ursuline, how you ended up choosing Ursuline, just to start off the bat.
The high school search was tough for us. We weren't finding the perfect fit for her. And I said, we should take a look at Ursuline. So we came at the last minute. I didn't know what to expect. And she looked at me and she's like, this is my school. Oh. And she absolutely made the right decision. And this school is the perfect fit for her. And she has been very happy here. We just felt so welcomed. And there was just something extremely peaceful about the campus. The thing I love the most about Ursuline is that you walk the talk. It's not just words, it happens. And she's just flying now. So we're very grateful.
Our story is somewhat similar in the way that we had such a need and were searching and weren't able to actually find the fit. It has really changed and transformed our daughter's life. Sydney is her name. I forgot to say earlier. And the minute we walked on this campus, and by the way, we did a lot of home research, but we visited one place, and it was here. The reason was because of the testimonials from other parents that we knew. And I just felt this spirit about Ursuline that I now see living in Sydney.
After her first month here, I got a phone call on a Sunday from her Spanish teacher, Miss Mead, who we love, just to tell me what a great job she's doing in Spanish and on a Sunday. And I'm like,
amazing?
That is amazing.
That's what I'm saying, that they walk the talk. I can't say enough about the education and the teachers here.
And what I have found is that because they respect the students, they actually expect more of them. So I want to make sure for anyone out there who's really about rigor of the curriculum, it is a rigorous curriculum.
This is true.
And I think your choices are so vast and good. Just the fact that she feels entrusted enough with her abilities to take these advanced classes, because all of our classes are already advanced. So that next level, that respect that she feels is she returns it in effort.
And I think that's so well said. And I'm so glad that we addressed that, because that's something so uniquely Ursuline, I believe. So I'm glad.
No, it really is. They care so much about the kids that they wouldn't allow them to not do their best.
Correct.
And because they care and they love them. Like it's, to your point, it's walking that walk really, truly. But there's so much for the kids to be a part of outside of that. And I'm a firm believer that they've got to play as hard, right, as they are working in school. It can be a lot to balance. I'm going to be honest about that. It is a lot when you add on extras. So we have an excellent offering of all sorts of sports here, all sorts of clubs and different things. And most of the kids self-select in. I heard that over 70% of the kids are in sports.
Yep.
And that's not compulsory. So the fact that they're doing that tells you about what they're becoming as people, as young ladies. But Sydney plays volleyball. That has been an immediate, if you're concerned about how do they integrate to the school, how do they make friends, immediately if they're haven't been here since 7th grade or whatever. Sydney had her volleyball team, and it was her little home. And they brought her in, and they shepherded her through until she could find her little, group or whatever that kids do. And I just can't say enough about the extracurriculars. They're all based on building a better person. So before it's an athlete, it's what sort of character, are you a good teammate, that kind of thing. And then that's the most important thing here for the sports. We like to win, of course.
We do.
We like to be appropriately competitive, but it really the strands of the Ursuline mission are pulled throughout every single thing they do. I will say that's affected Sydney both in her faith as well as her day-to-day behavior. I cannot, to your point, I can't say enough. It has been a life-changing thing for our daughter.
She immediately met friends because it's a different culture here because it is academically motivated.
Mhm.
So the girl drama, as you say, is scarce because there's really no time or room for it, you
It's
know?
well
So
put.
she goes to lunch and she sits with different groups, and they had their first semi-formal. Of course, Colleen closed the dance floor because she loves to dance.
Absolutely.
I remember after Sydney did her shadow day, this was when I knew, because we knew we wanted her to go here, but we wanted her to want to do it, right?
Right.
So we did not pressure her because in the end she had to do the work. You know, it's going to be her day every day. She jumped. This was the moment I knew that she was definitely all in. She jumped in the car and she got in the back and had this big smile plastered on her face. And she said, "Mom, it's so cool to be smart here. I'm going to
Yes.
learn how to be smart
Yes.
here." And I'm like, "You're already smart." She goes, "No."
So true.
She goes, "No, I know I am, but I'm talking about the Ursuline smart." I'm like,
Mhm.
"Oh, it's a different thing. I
Yes.
see. I didn't realize." Well, you know. So, but that joy around it, you could tell that she knew, if I go to this school, I'm
Right.
going to achieve that next level, that I just wasn't in the right place for me before.
There isn't a competitive environment at Ursuline, even though these are the brightest girls, and they know that everybody else in their class is a smart, intelligent girl. So it's different. Like the academic experience is different for her.
I think the world we live in, like you said, where there's this drive as female to prove yourself or
Mhm.
to go the extra mile, where I'm just as smart as the boy, or I'm just as
Right.
athletic, or I'm just as
Right.
anything. To be in an environment where everything about the school is tailored to the education of young women,
Yeah.
where they hold the leadership positions, they are the ones taking the risk in the classroom. I thought that was a wonderful point, that is celebrated here,
Mhm.
and there's not that extra pressure of having to do just a
Yeah.
little bit more
Yeah.
to be just as good.
I think Colleen now would choose what she
Oh,
has.
interesting.
When she's
Yeah.
experienced
Yeah.
it.
So, she was definitely, a co-ed person. And I think after her experience here, like she just said the other day, I will do anything to stay at Ursuline. Like she
Oh.
absolutely loves
Yeah.
coming to school here.
And then the big, can we talk a little bit about the Servium? Because, oh my goodness.
Please.
Oh my
Yes.
goodness, I love the Servium. We've been big volunteer people our whole life.
Yes.
And so that was one of the defining factors for my husband. When we came to the school and he saw and heard y'all talk about the 30 hours a year
Mhm.
of volunteer work, and then the last part of senior high or senior year, and the community impact that you have to have by working someplace.
Yes, so
Yeah.
at the end of your senior year at Ursuline, you will do a community service project where you really dive in deep with one organization and serve with them to round out your Ursuline experience, really the capstone project. And then you come back and share with the whole school community what you learned, what you saw, and it really is an enriching experience. And for any family that isn't Catholic, I would just want to reiterate
Yes.
that it is an emphasis on building that moral compass and building a commitment to service and giving back to others, and thinking about your place in the world and in the scope of a larger global community even. That is so important for any student, no matter their faith.
It is. It's really universal. The school is Catholic. Of course, we're going to have Catholic values. Of course, we're going to have Mass, etc.
To describe Ursuline in a few words, or are there 2 or 3 words that come to mind when you think of Ursuline?
There's so many, see, and I
Fly.
talk so much. Like
Fly.
a few words. Like, I don't have a few words on anything.
Did you have one?
I think Ursuline, I just think of flying, soaring,
I
and
see.
dreaming. You come here to dream.
I think for me, we're very big into history and things like that. And so when I started to learn about the school and I realized that 1500s, how could anyone have had the vision to educate women in the 1500s when it would probably be something you'd get killed to do, right? So the fact that Angela has this vision, I feel like the word I would use is legacy.
Mm-hmm.
There's just such a legacy for the school. I feel like makes her feel very special
And
to be a part of that sisterhood.
Absolutely.
It really, really does. And I'm just eternally grateful for. I really don't think that Sydney would be the same person if we had left her where she was.
Mhm.
And it really, I cannot. I'll never be able to thank Ursula.
Oh,
Sorry.
Dee. Oh my goodness.
It's just been amazing.
That's awesome.
Well, first, now it's bringing
Sorry.
tears to my eyes.
I'm such a crier.
It brings me so much joy to know that your daughters feel fulfilled and seen and challenged and loved here. That is why I returned to Ursuline, and I felt that way. And my mom does the same thing. She starts to tear up when she says to me, Molly, if you had not gone to Ursuline, you wouldn't be the same person
This
that you
is
are
true.
today.
I think we covered it all.
We did cover
I
it.
really
I'm glad I
think
have a
we
new
did good,
friend,
Katie.
though.
Yes.
They're probably in class together right now, and we didn't even know it.
But truly, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I am so appreciative of your time, but also you shared so many wonderful thoughts and moments with us. So not only was this a gift of your time, but also a gift of your expertise. And I really feel like this podcast will be well loved and well received. So thank you
so much.
Thank
Molly.
you.
Thank you.
Fans, we're signing off.
Bye. Thanks for watching.
You two are amazing.
The lights gave me really good highlights.
Your hair was
You look
popping.
great. I know, it looks super
I was like,
shiny.
What happened?
On the other
I don't have
hand,
high-